Hello, 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 everyone. Just a real quick midday update. The price action is atrocious, and we're getting to that really instability point again. Nothing has to happen, but I'm sort of on high alert. Let's see, we have Scotty damage report. So, all right, this is you get to the bridge and we got the lights flashing. You know, there it's in maybe the Klingon fleet's gonna appear in front of us, but no guarantees. Yeah, everybody better get back on board. For the Star Trek references. Just be on alert. If you're trading from the long side, be very careful. Know where your stops are. And I don't know what event would trigger the major instability move, but we're at that point of, again, major instability. There's, again, no guarantees. These kind of things are very hard to, they could pass by. We could rally back. We could do anything. But I just wanted to let everybody know Bullard killed the market. Well, you want to talk about hawkish? There's a little, I think I'll have to do a separate video on that. Good evening, Anise. Hope you had a good day. You're welcome, Jake. So, this is not just blindly go short because we could dump. That if I start seeing major momentum to the downside, this has still been a decently orderly decline. We've now officially retested those June lows in the S&P. The official June lows 36.39 and in 36.35. So again, broken if you're looking at the cash. The cash, we'll just call up this CFD. We're also broken that. So whether you're watching the futures or the cash, pay attention to where we close. I'll be back on after the close, but pay attention if we close below the June lows. The earlier trades from today, this is why, again, it was confirmed on the break to the upside, but not triggered. So this is why, at least if you're trying to front run it, you don't just do it on a couple ticks above there, or you do the break and then retest. Talked about that. But that is over. We had that double top. We had a couple little minor one. I think Sterling was putting that on the Twitter feed. Then we had the other patterns that broke down right now, and these wouldn't be for a flush out move. Well, 36.22 wouldn't be for a flush out move, and that doesn't have to happen today, but I am on high alert. All right. So again, Spidey senses are up. 35.87 would be the next key, and then this 35.57 again today might transpire with nothing going on. This was not bullish price action. You can see the Nasdaq still holding up above the June lows. I key off the S&P more so for the bigger boys. So I'm watching for a break, especially if we start breaking below 11,150 area. Then I'd really be watching. But again, we tried to rally up and then the turnaround dump on that. The Dow just pretty much getting hammered. Now back down to that 29,063 cluster I talked about. The next major area I'm watching is 28,740, then 28,500. Those are the two key areas if we have a flush out move. And it could happen overnight tonight. There's no meaning. It doesn't have to happen during our market hours. Russell in that vicinity of retesting the lows. Again, things tried to rally today and just couldn't sustain anything. Also, this was very bearish with the notes. By the way, the potential double in the notes or the potential reversal trade. Just double check something right now. Double check on a double. That's pretty funny. Looks like that is off the table. Off the table. So no key reversal pattern in the notes and taking out. We had some pretty strong buying yesterday on this move down and now couldn't even sustain a bounce. Also, your dollar index is on a massive warpath higher, by the way. This now is, there's no double top in place, which never confirmed. The double bottom is essentially, remember, the first and second targets were the highest probabilities, and we've retested that area. Still would watch this a 112.92 for a breakdown play. It was definitely not going to happen into the close, but the dollar strength is also another negative for the market. So just be on pretty high alert. The yen marching up. Looks like, unless we get another intervention, we're going to retest the highs from intervention day, and the euro retesting the lows. Okay, this can still be traded as one side of a double, so that potential double bottom is still in place. Bitcoin also getting flushed right here. So that's where we stand. Tesla's still holding up a bit. Do you any bottoming pattern shaping up in the S&P on any time frame? Not yet. We'll have to see after the close. But this was pretty bearish selling. There just isn't a lot of positive stuff, and it feels, and this is from me being around the markets for 30 years. It's got that very fragile feeling, like you're walking on eggshells, and a lot of buying is not getting absorbed real well, just from the price action. And you can see, yes, there's a clear path so that we could all still turn around and rally back up into it. I am just in super cautious mode, and I need to see some substantial momentum bars to the upside. And short term, if you're trying to play along at home, short term, here's your S&P. We need to get it back at least above this 3660 before I'm looking at anything short term, and I am maintaining tight stops, because especially with the liquidity in here, if there is some trigger event, the market is not, from my perspective, this is all my perspective, is not in the position to absorb a lot of rapid selling quickly. So we could see acceleration to the downside, which could turn into a capitulation move. So there's always a bright side for the people trying to find a more substantial bullish bottom. Watch if that weekly does break, that will elicit some additional selling. So I do not have any strong patterns, especially going into the close. I just wanted to put that out there, and I have no knowledge. Remember, starting in the next 30 minutes, that's when I'll get on high alert for any price action, because the big boys really start playing the last hour, and especially the last 30 with position modification. They're just, it's just yuck at this point. Possibly capitulation is on it doesn't, remember, we could have still selling without a capitulation. You could even get pretty rapid selling without a capitulation. Capitulation, just like crash, is a rare event, is a more rare event. It's actually more frequent than crashes, but it's still, this wasn't you have a lot of events in this last year that were not capitulation. There's been some good signals, but this is not easy right now. There's been some decent short-term signals, and if you're not doing anything in the very short term, I would just generally sit it out. Yeah, it hasn't broken the 200 MA in a very, very long time on the weekly. It came and tested it. I mean, look at the COVID lows. COVID lows were the last retest, the last major retest, and before that, it tested, not since 2008, but it tested it back. It did technically close below it in 10, but rebound pretty quickly. But you see the support. You had a close below technically in 10. The last major close below that continued was in 08, though. And remember, it's a vicinity. So we could see, and you don't necessarily have to have the crash. All right. See, the first close, we got the selling, and then we we started to get the bloodbath. Interesting timing though. Look at this. September we closed below the 200. In 08 we closed in September below the 200. And then look at October. Look at October. So I'm not saying the market does not have to repeat that. We don't have to have the crash or a bloodbath right away. But I'm on alerts from separate from that. Okay. So if you're following along at home and you can't always tune in, put the 200 simple moving average on your chart. Simple, not exponential. And right now it's about 11,180. So we're within, again, spitting distance. All right. That's where we stand. I'll be back again in a couple hours. Just be safe out there. Don't do anything silly. At this point, there's no point in trying to be a hero. You're not also trying to buy the bottom. If we do get a rebound, there will be buying opportunities where you don't have to buy a bottom. Even on a turnaround, if this closes low, if we did break and close above today's high, we get another turnaround bar. So there'll be times. With that, see you all in a couple hours. Thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.